quite often, what always used to happen, and I was very much one of those people, right? Yes, these things are potential carcinogens, but only in X dosage, right? And then, therefore, we were at the stage where we said, yeah, but the dosage in this product is so far below the place where it becomes a problem that it's therefore not a problem. So we forgot about the cumulative effect of using many other products. Like we kind of do with medication, they're much more aware of this now with medication, is the trying to see how products work together, because that is obviously never really tested. And also we find that most of these safety guidelines turn out to be massively outdated, and that the safe levels are actually significantly lower than what we thought they were. And there is no scientific consensus on what the safety levels are anyways, because in the EU, for instance, I saw this thing about PFAS in the drinking water recently. They said in the EU, the safety level is 10 times lower than it is in the UK. And it's, again, another 10 times higher, the safety level in the States. Therefore, you can put a lot more crap in your water in the States or in the UK than you can do in the EU.
Yes, you can. Yeah, so a couple things here. The cumulative effect you first bring up, and then I want to talk about PFAS chemicals. The cumulative effect, nobody knows what that cumulative effect is. Typically, when they say in a product that the level of phthalates in that product is a safe level, well, the problem is that that's one product you're using. Now, a woman typically uses 16 products in one day on her body. And the mix of those chemicals from all those products, deodorant, lipstick, toothpaste, hairspray, the list goes on. Men use typically about 8 products a day, still a lot. But the amount of chemicals that you're putting on your skin or breathing in all day long, nobody knows how those are all mixing inside your body together. All right. And then you're eating non-organic food, let's just say, and you're drinking some beverages that are also potentially have toxic ingredients in them. And because they're out there too, and you're eating cereal that potentially is loaded with glyphosate, because that's what they spray all these crops with now. All of this is going into your system. They don't measure that. They're just measuring that one ingredient that goes in that one product. So on that note, you have to consider all these things. 132 different chemicals potentially you're putting on your skin in one day. So that's one thing. So you have to take the whole big picture I try to get people to realize from the start of the day to the end of the day, look at the products you're using and pay attention to all those different chemicals that you're using all day long. It's astonishing. It really is. And that might open up your eyes a little bit. Then, and then you start changing those out. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, if you really want to make your own cleaning supplies, you can. And there's so many do-it-yourself recipes out there. Maybe you start getting rid of your clean and go back to the basics, as I said, or look online. There's one, I actually even have some do-it-yourselfs on my website as well. I want to help as many people as possible try to realize you do not need all these cleaning supplies to clean your entire house. Once in a while, if you want to use something because you need it, okay, open up the window, make sure you get those chemicals out. But so that's one thing. And then you mentioned PFAS. So PFAS are a whole hundreds of thousands actually of chemicals. It's a whole family, PFAS, and that's what we're talking about. PFAS are it's a huge problem, pandemic in my mind over here, because, and it's the same everywhere in the world right now, because these PFAS chemicals are, they're in many different products. They make things waterproof. They're in dental floss. Dental floss. They're in dental floss so they can glide, and those are chemicals to make it glide. They're in any kind of plastic water repellent, anything that's water repellent. They're in plastic. They're in fire retardant, anything that's fire retardant. So now the companies are still spraying furniture with fire retardants. There's a big problem here with firefighters because it's in the foam that they're spraying into all these homes that are, whatever. So all these chemicals, these PFAS chemicals, which are called the forever chemical, which are almost impossible to get rid of, are in our water now. And it's in our drinking water. And the fish are now being affected. And we as consumers are drinking these chemicals. So it's a huge problem. And really the only way that I know to really get rid of it is some type of reverse osmosis system. And which we have one, and they're not cheap. I feel bad that, not everybody can have a reverse osmosis system. And unfortunately, it's a huge issue that people are drinking these chemicals. And over here, our water supply comes from different counties, of course, but they're only putting things in to kill the bacteria. Yeah. They're not doing anything to filter out the pharmaceuticals that are being flushed down the toilet, or the pharmaceuticals that are in our water. I mean, they've got to go somewhere when somebody urinates. They're going out into the water. They do nothing about anything there. They do nothing about any of these PFAS chemicals. They can't. They'd have to put a reverse osmosis system on every water facility, and they haven't figured that out yet. Although I understand over in India, there's something going on over there because their water is so polluted. But it's a huge issue. And when I work with people, we look at their water all the time and get it tested. And so that's my husband walking in and my dog going crazy.
No problem. Mine are lying here quietly. It's all good.
So water's a big issue. I don't know how it is over there. It's just something to consider. And I always get people to at least filter out the chlorine of Brita. I know Brita is what you can buy. At least get the chlorine out, so you're getting some chemicals out of your water, because that filters out the chlorine and potentially maybe some other chemicals in there. But at least do something, and that's the first step, doing that. And then there's some other units that you can buy that potentially even I've heard there's one that you can put on your shower head that filters out, that are not that expensive as well. So baby steps.